has in store for us. Hopefully a few more ops from OneWin and hopefully a few more rounds from them as well as we head into Ancient. That is their map pick. Sprout hoping to close things out in just the 2. They're very comfortable here as well. The old bricks of Ancient, very well accustomed to a couple of Sprouts growing in between them.
Yeah, a great map, I think, during the campaign for Sprout when we look back at how things kind of went for them. I mean, it has been a map that they've been clearly putting in some work in and are gaining more and more experience against all walks of different teams. So OneWin are going to have to really prove they've got what it takes to compete with some of the teams that Sprout have actually fallen to on this map. Sprout will start CT side, and they have the kit double flashes here for refrezh. The flash will sail out just so that they can fancy a peek, but as the execute comes in for OneWin, they're not ready for this player on side of the site. Staehr taking a long time for that first duel, gets dropped and traded, but Lonx comes into action, and it's nice sharp taps, but eventually traded as well. refrezh just trying to tuck.
He's got almost HP to work with, but he doesn't need it either. Where you saw Staehr maybe struggling a little bit, the rest of his teammates are all as crispy as can be. Sprout, strong start to things, just the initial flashbang from refrezh, also perfectly timed to disable the prospect of a rush to come through, and then immediately afterwards, I mean, look at that aim from Lonx and refrezh, both of them finding some beautiful shots in. I'm also looking forward to this map in particular because I think it's a little bit more conducive than Overpass is, or rather, I mean, this is going to sound weird, but I think this is a bit more conducive to how Slacks likes to play with his AWP by comparison to Overpass, because obviously a lot more high access angles you can play into a bit more defensively, maybe.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking forward to seeing how exactly his time will be faring. Once again, we see the nearly zero investment going into the second round after they lose out the pistol. OneWin are content with letting this one be a bygone.
Just to tag on to your point, this is a map that has a lot of very safe, kind of worry-free rotations if you're, you know, maintaining an eye on mid and maybe towards either bomb site. So wherever Slacks is needed, he should be able to get there.
And before anyone goes wild on the chat, no, I'm not saying this is a better map for Oppers. I'm saying this is a better map for Slacks.
Yeah.
At least on the CT side. But we'll have to wait to see that theory put to test. And as the MP9 of Zyphon is going to be sitting by the wayside, got to remind you all that Slacks has got himself a P250 and now he's got an MP9 as well. Go ahead, line him up, buddy. Gonna keep on fighting through, and Staehr even comes in from behind. They are really finding some good efficiency coming out of this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's lovely to see. Zyphon taking all the aggression at the start, taking a lot of damage, and he's just like, yeah, you know what?
Your turn.
Slacks is calling for this SMG, and he wants to get that AWP as fast as possible, so...
Zyphon even drops
extra
the
kills, extra money. Yeah.
Staying on the double MP9.
Now that's a good teammate.
That's a frustrated teammate.
My money!
But I made this.
Oh, that's how all Jame teams operate, but Slacks very aggro peak actually, in fact, towards A main. Making use of pretty solid spawn for it.
Gotta say, I love it.
I think 3 or 4 spawns leaning over towards that A side that you can sort of get there before the OneWin side could. Or I guess T sides in general.
Oh, good night. That's going to be keeping them quite low. Travis not happy about backing right into that. Slacks is also keeping an eye out for the crossover of Glowing. He doesn't have a smoke covering off Donuts, so thought that he would be slightly more safe, but I think there might have been a missed shot somewhere in there because Glowing's managed to move past and Slacks did actually back off for just a second. Now his only job is making sure his second player doesn't cross through and that he can find some information in case that is the plan.
All about timing and utility to cave. Travis, if he tries to close this gap, if Lonx's flash is well timed, he switches to the Molotov. I think Staehr wanted to challenge that fight, so a little diversion, a little change in what they had planned. OneWin aren't even attacking this B-bomb site. They throw some util and immediately dart towards mid. Slacks will be under pressure.
And suddenly Glowing's position becomes all the more important. Slacks is holding them off and Donut. Good second shot. Looked like it was going to line him up, but instead he has to go for the third. Around the corner he goes. Welcome to 2022, baby. Might be late into it, but finally you're going to see that come into play. That's the first time I've ever seen that be a factor. Wow, maybe that is a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to be a lot more cognizant of as an AWPer. You know, very often, you know, you go for a mid peek and maybe you get flashed off. You'll fire a bullet sort of haphazardly, like, oh, do I get the timing? Did I kill him? Whatever. You don't want to linger too long. It's very likely we'll start to see AWPers just reload after that kill.
I have to say, I saw a tweet earlier on, which I saw a tweet earlier on, Michael, which I wish I could remember what account it was, but it was this great just frag movie of the new AWP with just 50 seconds of reloading in different positions. Oh, you can very well fire off every single bullet, all your reserve ammo, all the reloads, everything within like a minute and 12 seconds. And yes, I did test this. This is like when someone tested out the scout and they're like, you cannot possibly shoot that many bullets in a round.
Yeah. Well, you can, with all the extra reloading. Although we'll ever see anybody run out of ammo, you have to really push yourself to do that.
And he does absolutely nothing. And I feel like I've been cheated out of a chunky boy. Stair in the meanwhile, he definitely heard that tag through. Travis getting tagged up just spells out his doom. Gotta be careful that Deco isn't given too much space to try and come in close by. He's not going to be spammed up at all. He's definitely got the deagle chops for it. AK retrieved and a lot of control given up.
Yeah, and immediately throws it over to Lollipop, who has armor, crucially. So he understood the assignment, got his kill, and gave it to a fellow compatriot. And I don't think there's going to be any real issues sweeping up the rest of the kills. About whether Deco and Lollipop can find some impact. The Eagles are looking sharp. Deco, wow. 3 kills in this round where it looked like they weren't going to get too much more. Do we need to see him on an AWP? Yes, is the answer, but if he's hitting shots like that.
You thought he gave the AK to Lollipop because Lollipop had armor, right? Apparently he just doesn't want to use the AK.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for it. It's like, not enough style.
Also, I have noticed on our HUD that the AWP doesn't seem to actually reduce in ammo. The little ammo counter in the bottom right.
God, literally unwatchable.
Yeah, small things that updates break.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Shout out to Tall Vlad. Poor guy's gonna have a lot of small things every single time there's an update coming around. Snacks. Let's go forward. Gotta be careful. Going does pop off a warning shot, but that's more of a warning to himself before he backs off. Travis, beautiful kill to be found. Long's not expecting the full wide swing, and Deco with the wall bang discovers Slacks over back and Donut. We've had so much impact these past 2 rounds now. The B bomb set looking pretty much vacant. A bomb set as well, actually. The question's more about whether you want to go into Xiphon or Longs, rather, or Stair at this point. Turns out both of them packing a punch.
Xiphon got over towards this B-bomb site rather quickly. They may not know that he's already crossed. First kill's good. Echo's close and has to try and get himself out of there. Ring around the rosy at the square. Maybe we'll get there in time as well. The cover is behind, but the smoke should separate the two of them. Echo needs to hit this shot or at least prioritize his own life and keep Xiphon guessing. Nice and easy. No stress. Seen some good stuff here from Deco. We were definitely hoping to see more of an activation out of him on the one-win side, and he is crucial in getting them their first round. Sure, Lollipop gets that key kill initially, but just making sure that nothing got too far out of hand.
That frag on a
break the streak.
Crucial.
Mm-hmm.
These mid-contests coming out from Sprout have also been generally a little bit lighter as well. And Slacks has been much more heavily prioritizing peeking into it with an op than maybe I expected it, and he's been punished for it now. Trying to cover off Donor to Xiphon, not expecting Glowing to already be here despite the thunder footing forward. Glowing almost caught with the smoke in his hand, and instead it's Refrezh who's been called to action as he's got to try and saved the day. He's even moved through the smoke. Maybe an angle to work off of here. Present for him. Meanwhile, Flamey spots out Stair. I don't know if the reverse is true, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Very fixated on the A site, and now a Molotov thrown. Flamey will announce his presence. My calling card. Well, this round is looking done. I'll just in close proximity towards this A bomb site, and good due diligence here from Glowing. They have an AWP already, and saving that would have been one of the things to check off the list for Sprout on the save.
Sprout on the save is just looking to keep their own behinds intact more than go around hunting for AWPs in mid.
It's a checklist.
Yeah.
You know, get extra brownie points for certain objectives. Your AWPer will like you extra if you save the AWP. Your in-game leader will like you extra if you actually survive.
Man, you sound like the kind of guy who actually went and found all the horseshoes in GTA San Andreas.
I couldn't play that as a kid. It's too violent.
Okay. Well, the bomb's about to blow up, so there is that to consider.
Yeah, man, growing up, GTA, there's a lot of negative press. You couldn't.
In all fairness, I understand. For good reason, maybe.
Yeah, harder to argue, like in those days. Oh, the access to the internet and Steam. Oh, well, the world has changed.
Second round on the board for 1 win, and now the CT economy is stressed out. Do you have an actual game plan with these two M4s? Are we going for something a little bit more straightforward and default? Well, Beast Attack is the name of the game with both guns doubling up. They are looking to maybe even get flashed into a lane fight. No one in cave to try and be the second prong of it is going to be a little bit trickier. And Deco, as he scopes upwards, Stair is gone. Deco will retreat backwards. Flashbangs won't really matter. M4 is recovered. Refresh. Nice shot with a USP. Looking for another one.
What?
Glowing's just been completely styled on. That's just outplayed and out-aimed.
Yeah, annihilated by a USP and a free AK. So, yeah, they lose one rifle momentarily, one that was recovered, and they get their hands onto an extra one. This is a much more scary round to have to approach. To tell who has armor and who does not. No visual indicators. Not there yet.
I hope we never get there.
Yeah. There have been Counter-Strike clones that I think have included that, and it's a little off-putting.
I do think that Molotov found by Refresh could actually end up being more of a factor than we're realizing, because there's, that's a lot of smoke being used up. So had they gone to the B bomb side, a Molotov to try and force off the planter would have been quite nicely placed. The only question now is, does Sprout look to maybe engage on the A bomb side, or aren't they much more content to try and save these last few weapons? And as the execute starts to come through, Zyphon's USP, if it's able to find a quick kill, maybe there's something to be done about it. But Slacks is low already, and his fadeaway itself is going to be difficult enough for Smoke to at least give him some cover, even if it is thrown by the T side.
Yeah, if there was a world in which they pull this off, it would have to start with Slacks getting an opening kill. Needed to divert the attention of the remaining one-win players, but took a lot of damage, didn't do a whole lot back. And it was just Zyphon with a tucked with the USP that ultimately got flushed out. You've really found a solution, and it has been from trying to get access towards this B lane area. Right now, Sprout are prioritizing that themselves. We've seen how many times they've thrown bodies into that area. This time they tried to double push off the two saved M4s. And it didn't quite work out. That built boost by Deco was assembled just in time. We've seen different approaches to it so far, trying to get aggressive from cave. We've seen flashes from the top of the B bomb side as well. Sprout know that's an area that they want to contest, and they've played forward against one win in previous rounds as well, only to be caught out by, being peeked just before a smoke blooms or a flash play from one win so far. So their countermeasures are available.
Flashback forward for Refresh to try and play around, but Glowing ends up suffering the fate of the damned, even though Refresh himself was completely blinded. Deco. Oh, nice shot. Thought he was going to end up firing into his own teammate for a second there. Snack's almost given him an extra layer of protection that they really don't want to see him get. Travis, oh, Lonks with a quick peek out. Double spray down as well. Last player is going to be peeked into stairs there to cover it off. And what a saving grace right there. The double kill to be connected upon. That looked very dangerous.
Yeah, super patient there as well from Lonks. You know, flashes were sailing his direction, Molotovs as well, and it was only when that Molotov sailed a little bit too deep that he decided to take the swing, and OneWin weren't ready. So finally breaking a little run that the attacker side have been able to get. You know, T-side 3 in a row, what Sprout had offered up into the early stages. Sure. We are still.
It's like,
sorry, my brain was confused with like Stair and.
I thought you were about to say we're stirring the pot.
And like Worcestershire sauce. I don't know where my head's at. Maybe it's on food. But we are in the early stages of this half, so either one can still take over.
Oh, peek forwards off one. Maybe he's even got this set up for two, but instead Deco gets a wallbang to the crate, and there will be no longer any players in the A-bomb site. Longs will try and quickly rectify that, but he can't move this through the smoke. Doesn't feel comfortable about it, especially with the Molotov behind Longs. He's already inside them. Immediately goes back towards Donut as well, and a quick Molotov to aim in means that Longs only has to worry about that one player, and that player isn't even headed his way. Longs is moving all the way through. He's so aggressive as he looks to cut off rotations and find himself a timing to get into lane before these T-side players can get into the B-bomb set. He's managed to thread the needle.
He might even flank this cave player if he's fast about it, but no, not even overstepping past ledge. He just wants to be close enough to this site to do something.
Oh, Deco's keeping an eye out for him, but not long enough! Longs, that second kill is massive. It sets up perfectly for Slacks, who just has to watch out, but the flashbang will keep him at bay. And Staehr unable to get involved in time. They're expecting both players to be coming in from the B ramp area. Definitely not expecting a double up over here. Longs was so fast about committing to the hard rotate backwards, and now Staehr comes in from the side. It's a freebie, and it's still not Longs to be revealed, so Travis has to be focused in. Staehr just does it all on his own. These two players are just such amazing finds. Sprout has consistently been phenomenal at getting talent after talent in their lineup.
Yeah, it really makes a world of a difference, that one kill that Lonks gets on the bomb site, because it immediately diverted OneWin's intentions in that round, and Lonks knew. So even just to the added pressure, you know, getting that kill from ledge and then tucking away and being so elusive. You saw the paranoia set in for the remaining OneWin players in the post plant. They didn't know where those last two were, and they found the gap in the retake defense there for the OneWin squad.
Oh, Deco's so heavily tagged up as well as he's trying to get aggressive straight towards the cave area. No one's actually peeking into him. Staehr holding a much more defensive angle, expecting some sort of a early contest. Oh, Staehr, careful. You've got utility in your hand. You're about to be peeked into by an AWP. Deco punishes it. Juggling won't work against the scope.
Yeah, not when Deco's hitting shots like that. I mean, a really tough shot to have converted on. One that OneWin, I'm sure, will take in stride. And behind the smoke is Lonks as well, over towards B, but actually trying to close the gap. Yeah, this is very dangerous. Nade will sail out, but not enough. No flash to help cover the progress. Siphon's one just goes a little too shallow, and Travis, they got that cave control as a result of the Deco AWP, and Deco will strike again. Really heating up in this T side and finding a lot of these multi-kill rounds, whether it's been on Deegs or on the AWP. More consistently the AWP, that's for sure. These Slacks wants nothing to do with it. And that's one thing that we'll have to commend Deco for. I mean, not only the fact that he's got 13 kills, which is, you know, that's great. But it's the way that he's changing the approach of what he does in each of these rounds pretty consistently. You know, the target has been relatively similar. You know, it's been around this B area predominantly. But in the few instances where we have seen him, we haven't had fights into sort of cheetah or in through mid from him too often. But when we have seen it, he has gotten that kill when he needs to. making it hard for Sprout to read where that ult is going to be.
I have to say, Sprout's getting up-diffed so hard right now.
Yeah. But at the same time, OneWin are kind of getting riflered diffed, if we're going to take that approach.
I know which one hurts more, Michael.
Yeah, the one that shoots bullets that kill somebody 100-0.
Yeah. On T side, no less, by the way. Deco's just been so dynamic with this as well. As much as we keep talking about, you know, talent being found, can't forget him. Ever. What an annoying angle.
Really want to continue focusing on StaehrH as well. I mean, we've seen his impact in late round moments, but he holds one of the most pivotal positions on this map. The entrance to cave gives you a lot of access towards middle, the potential to rotate over towards that A side. It's as valuable as a connector on overpass, but way closer to one of the bomb sites.
Yep, that is for sure.
Here's the thing with Sprout's Ancient. It's been successful, but a lot of the games are very close. Like, we see a lot of 16-14s, we see overtimes. This is not out of the ordinary that we're neck and neck in the early stages.
What we're saying is hearts get broken a lot there. What is that smoke? Travis finds StaehrH looking completely the other way. That smoke surely isn't a real thing. Refresh and then peeks out right at the perfect timing. Keeps things in a 3-on-3. Problem is going to be Xiphon, who is coming in on the flank, and they don't actually have a smoke to try and block off Donuts. So this is going to be such a more difficult peek. But Lonx goes down first. And the flashbang from the T side actually ends up working against them because they self-blind. A great flash thrown up, but it's a missed opportunity for Deco. Xiphon's going to continue to strafe outwards and take the peek. And now it's all flaming. Bullets running out, but he'll still get the triple. OneWin comes out on top massively. What is that first swing out?
Yeah, Long's trying to catch them out on a timing. Maybe even use the fact that that flash was unideal. Was going to pop behind Lonx, I believe.
I think the flash popped after it. Lonx died.
Yeah, not sure. Definitely stepping way before Sprout were in a position to really contest that bomb. And that was something that OneWin had to do. You know, they didn't have utility that was available. They only really had smoked off CT. There was nothing to cover the plant.
This should be
an awkward late round situation, but OneWin are looking to bridge the gap. Oh god, they're against USPs. They can't lose like this. No, the AK for Xiphon, it makes a world of a difference, and Flamey trying to keep a lid on this at the very least.
Refresh can threaten them and stop them from rotating through mid, so if they want to go back, it has to be all the way around, and in doing so, they'll forfeit the right to contest these AKs. The boost up from Deco, that leaves him completely solo. The bomb's the one that's rotating away, and Refresh has already been given a gun. If he peeks forward, though, Deco's going to get him, and he's realized that. Deco drops down, he's heard that for sure.
Yep. Playing a HP game now. I mean, Flamey lower than Deco is, and we've seen some nice sharp shooting from the AWPer on weapons outside of the scoped weapon. Do they read the reposition? Because it could be a patient game. It could just be a wait and sit on the OneWin side and wait for someone to get aggressive, and Sprout are currently not doing anything of the sort.
At the same time, you can say the same thing to OneWin. How do you read how the CTs are going to be reacting to this sort of area? For all you know, they've gone ahead and they've picked up guns and they're coming behind you in mid.
Well, that was the thing. Like they stopped and froze to see if they would go in and retrieve those guns. So I think it's actually a much harder read for Sprout to know what the correct move is to do on a round where you could potentially win when you have no resources, no armor, no kit, and only really USPs to go into the 2v2 to begin with. But they will try their hand at it. There's a buy around the corner.
Now Util picked up either, which is going to end up being very important. They're saving. Man.
Yeah.
Gotta say, not a big fan.
Yeah, such a difficult call. I mean, it's so... I mean, if they were going to win this round, it would have been by staying stoic or having a good read on which side of the map they were going to have to retake. Even if they were just on USPs, you know, we see just how advantageous the positional game can be at certain times. You know, taking A main control might have been something that would have benefited them massively. But that's all hindsight. We see everything. That call when you're expecting maybe that they stop and freeze and just re-aggress into that bomb site, anticipating the maybe over-rotation. It is just a mind game. But one would make the right call. Really dicey round. Really dicey round.
Puts them on 6 on the T side, though, so you've already basically won this half. And, well, they want to win it in the numerical fashion as well, not just the pure ideological one. 3 players down mid from the CTs, and it is them to fall initially. Glowing, tagged up, but he is content to retreat. There's no one here who can punish that. Not at all.
A little nervous there for LauNX. Smoke bloomed and the angle was being spammed by Lollipop, but will not connect. Not even a stray.
I'm so impressed by LauNX's ability to completely ignore Cave as he actually moved past that, because they had no idea about whether there could be someone in Cave at that moment or not. Oh, boost up is there, but the trade is better. CTs fall apart and immediately Sprout move to save. They've got no way back into this round, and where we were talking about Slacks having a lot of safer rotations and the like, I mean, we've really not been able to see his impact beyond the kind of one round where he gets aggressive into the aim inside and one where he gets a shot through donut. Well, 2 shots actually, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I just it doesn't feel like they've had the right reads or the right calls being made to put him in the right positions, because it seems very frequently, I mean, on some previous B-side attacks, he has actually just been taken out of the equation. We see how many deaths he's got tallied. He has been losing fights. But, on these full gun rounds when he has an ult, sometimes we're just seeing him sort of lingering and starting to make his way over to the right site, but then both side defenders are gone. Or he's the one that's maybe lingering back to watch the red room rotation as a possibility. Saw them pull off some cool things with the Slacks AWP on Overpass when things were getting hairy. Wonder if there might be a call for Slacks to do more of the same.
They're heavy contesting mid, but unfortunately for them, one man never actually end up bowing into that contest. They don't ever seem to be losing out players, and then because they've been feeling so comfortable with some of their rifling entries, or hell, even sometimes Deco entering on with his AWP, they just find every single appropriate reaction. Good flashbang in to try and take the peak. Slacks will connect. It's been a while since we've found him in the right position and getting the right read, but when he does do so, he hits those shots.
A while since we've uttered his name in a positive light.
Slacks saves an op seems pretty positive to me.
Yeah, not when you're losing continuously. Lost duel for Zyphon, but a quick trade there from StaehrH, who made sure not to wait around any longer than he needed to. Sometimes on trade kills, you'll hesitate an extra half second. StaehrH, there was no hesitation whatsoever. And had he implemented a stutter step, maybe falls victim to a trade right back. Man advantage help for Sprout, and 40 seconds left for OneWin to make their move.
Two flashes is all they've got, so this should very much be Slacks' round, considering he is playing from Temple, and there's almost no way to flash that position off. Travis also being spotted out by StaehrH, but StaehrH just loses that duel, and suddenly Slacks will be a little bit more obsessed with CT spawn, and as soon as he starts to take the peek backwards, realizes that Travis has got no reason to actually contest him right now, and Deco's found refresh. Travis now swings back out wide. He's got the frag, and LauNX will be soon to follow. OneWin, already the spiritual leaders in this half. They will now be the literal leaders as well.
This is gonna hurt. Or half started out so well here for Sprout, and there were some struggles for OneWin to get engaged, and I think it was really the actions of Deco to awaken the sleeping beast to the rest of the OneWin squad, because we've seen the increasing impact from not only the trades, but the entries that they're finding on their riflers. Sure, Deco is finding less contributions. I think he was at like, what, 13 before any of his other teammates had even broken past like 4. While he slows down, the others power up. Then 9-6, and looking likely, Deco finally finding an extra activation. Still making sure to show some mid-presence and refresh. That first fight is critical. If he can fall back and reset from here, that limits the exchange that Deco got over towards that B-bomb, so they can reset their resources.
Two CTs who are trying to go exploring back down to mid. Oh, they set up a perfect crossfire. This could be it. This could be the difference maker. There goes the op as well. Right back to a 4-2. Sprout have looked completely hopeless in the past few rounds. Have suddenly found themselves a ray to come back into this game. Sustaining that boost from the B-bomb site for so long, though, is something they're going to have to break up very soon. Should one man get into good post-plant position, this 2-4 won't be easy.
I mean, even if they lose one of these A-site players, the B boost has to be broken down soon enough. And yeah, they get the call. Smokes are in, but they'll only buy so much time. Travis trying to take the boost onto tree and will sit himself there for the post plant. This is going to put Flamey in a really tough position.
If he gets his duel, maybe that changes everything, but instead Travis has all the pressure put onto those young shoulders of his, and it is not able to withstand one win. We'll be content with 8. Honestly, that's still a fantastic half, spurred on by a Deco who's about to be very happy going into the CT side. Can Sprout even put up a show? We'll have to wait to find out. We're off to a short break. When we're back, it's time to see what happens in that second half.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Definitely more of a struggle for Sprout than what we saw in Overpass, but that's really to be expected with the way Deco is flying. I'm T-Time, joined by Michael, Yumi, Cassidy, and one winner, hoping to close this one out quick.
Yeah, and kind of to be expected with the way Sprout usually have issues on this map. You know, it might have a lot of success, but they are not shy from close affairs. Good kill in from StaehrH. Deco did peek that angle a number of times over, but turned his attention over towards middle, and while Flamey will find at least some impact in that mid fight, they're still 4-on-4 and unsure about whether Sprout are attacking the A or the B bomb site as of yet.
Nice, one quick kill to find a second one as well with the pistol. He's been able to get his hands dirty. If there was ever going to be a way back into the game, it really would have been predicated off of this round. And oh, Travis doesn't want to give it up too easily. He's got the kit as well as the smoke, but Refrezh coming in, prowling in the back lines. I don't even know how he's got it himself there. Travis tried it out swiftly as well. Sprout will continue to fight.
Yeah, I don't think they were fully doubled down on the idea of attacking this B bomb site until Slacks gets that double kill on the entry, because Refrezh separated and he was going in to clear out the A bomb site, see if he could find a solo duel or just pull off a successful lurk. I'm sure there was an opportunity for them to divert if needed. But eventually he just comes in for the backstab. That one win we're not expecting. A lot of players turn the wrong direction for fights in that pistol round. One win very, very confused about where Sprout were attacking from.
Well, that's the way to start things off. Deco sticking true to his name. I know it's Deco, but come on, guys. Just for that round.
Just for the double entendre.
Oh. That's the one casualty so far, but it does force Sprout to be playing it a bit more passively. Lollipop feeling mighty lonely back in the A-bomb site, but Sprout might be heading over to give him some company.
Yeah, being a solo A anchor is a pretty lonely job. Even your donut player is really more concerned about mid than A.
Blowing. He wishes he can get himself too, but Zyphon trades it out even so, making it more and more dangerous as time goes on, especially with Flamey's scout being there to keep an eye out on things. Smoke down, but oh, Flamey doesn't even try and attempt the spam through. Refrezh taking charge forward. A bomb dropped over to him. StaehrH has to get this refrag, but he's going to take some damage forward. And while the smoke goes down, that gives a bit more space to Deco to be able to come in from behind with the Mach 10. Zyphon surely going to have to be very careful about this angle, but Deco checks it. Zyphon's gone, not even a headshot needed. StaehrH needs to get this one done all on his own. 30 HP is all he's got. And as Flamey starts to scope in, it's just a straight shot to the feet. And AK recovered and around with it.
Yeah, that's perfectly done. The constant movement here from the one-win players, in spite of getting early kills. I mean, we see Deco get his action into cave, but then finds the opportunity to push through B and then flank towards that A bomb site. So very difficult for Sprout to read. But nice timing as well, being found by Glowing. Another chance at it. Sure, pistol round one, but the conversions can often be the bigger issue. Especially with the way that one win have been playing on this Ancient. Feels like the first bullets are looking really on point. Wonder if Sprout will decide to answer back in much the same fashion. They got the plant, so they're kind of hovering more cash than one win would have had any sort of prospect of having in the round prior.
I do kind of hate this.
Yeah, it could have very feasibly seen just, upgraded pistols into rifles, but...
Hell man, I said don't even upgrade those pistols, just give the round away and try and fight with the guns, but... Obviously, it's a different story when your AWPer isn't going to be the primary focus for the team and you are generally building your T-side around the rifles. I know that Deco had such a phenomenal first half, but if anyone's comparatively newer to Counter-Strike, you might be fooled into thinking, yeah, that's just how you should be playing. Generally speaking, not as advised to be prioritizing the AWP as much so. LONX and StaehrH, obviously the big two for Sprout. Refrezh, can't be forgotten either.
Yeah, took over on the first map.
Might need something similar right here. Lollipop. Peeked into. Oh, they turn away. What's going on here, StaehrH? will trade. They do have players with armor who can recover the AK, but that's a unfortunate deal to go through, that's for sure.
Lots of damage done onto Deco inside a temple, and he has to vacate. They have taken over this bomb site here, Sprout, but have to be very concerned about getting that plant into a proper position. Refrezh still hasn't called the go yet, and Deco and Glowing have picked it apart all the meanwhile. Too slow and too sad. Sprout stopping in place allowed OneWin to collect their thoughts and reaggress before Refrezh could find anything on this desperate Glock lurk.
Too slow, too sad just sounds like a bad parody of Fast and the Furious 2.
Yeah, perhaps. Lead, of course, main actor, Depression from Once Upon a Time, Fnatic Rising.
Sorry, he does make for some of the best headlines, you gotta admit.
Yeah, it's a cool headline.
Fnatic Rising, bench Depression.
With iNation these days.
Yeah. Well, I hope things get better for them.
Yeah, good luck for him. Yeah. Wow, it was definitely an ambitious play to the sort of buying route they went, and they found some decent impact, but
oh no.
Okay, well this is not looking good. That's not good.
That's about as much money as you can hope to make, and now some more on top of it.
All he needs is one more, and that's max cash. For the MP9, of course. Shotguns do get you a little further. Or knives, you know, but you can't expect to knife 5 people. It's unrealistic.
We did see a double knife for the Major, which was kind of cool.
Yep.
What's the game plan if you're on Sprout, Michael?
Too early to call anything too sporadic. I think what we'll expect is just sort of standard working the map. A little presence in mid, a little presence over towards the A-bomb site, and make sure that OneWin don't over-assert themselves, because they are quite an aggressive team. A lot of different facets that can activate at different moments, so you make sure they don't fall victim to that. Sprout were just as annoying on the start of their CT side. Yeah, it's usually how these games start. Slow, methodical, spread, and then as you gain more of an idea of the characteristics of their defense, then you have a few more targeted attacks.
Yeah, and then you're down 15-8.
Potentially. Gotta respect the process.
Don't have time for the process over here, but hey, they're gonna make that attempt anyway. Still, B-side focus yet again to start things off. StaehrH's got a beautiful first kill, but trades most of his life for it. He's shifting back over to try and fight. Glowing Zyphon has decapitated him. Perfect way to move in towards the A-bomb site. They've taken out the mid player as well, and they realize that Lollipop's going to be the solitary player there, and an MP9 with him to boot. That's the problem with getting 4 kills with it. You actually take it forward as well. And he's about to find out why you don't want to have one in that situation. Refrezh, even with the Galil, just overruns and overwhelms.
Call to save was instinctual here for OneWin. Raiden 2 just sat on B and just too far away from the action. Are there better weapons to recover? I think there are, but they might be a little too far away. Nice stuff. Nice and slow. OneWin end up sort of falling into their crosshairs as, you know, the only real, I guess, aggressive peaks that they took were towards Cheetah or towards Cave, and they find a follow-up frag as a result of losing that player. OneWin were trying to get a player fast towards ledge and clearing that mid-control. Good shots from StaehrH and Zyphon, respectively. The extra kill on Lollipop was just, well, the sweet on top.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, you can't really make a good pun with lollipop because it's a very specific type of sweet.
Wait, it's a bubble gum inside?
No, 'cause those are weird.
Those are weird, but those are the only kind I can find. So. Hard to get a good lollipop these days. And also the toffee.
Oh man, I'm from the UK. we got that.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold you to
toffee.
it.
Love it.
Okay, that's something to keep in mind for if I ever get a visa for the UK again. Well, regardless, though, Sprout in the meanwhile are still yet to find any area on the map so far. Seems like they're unable to find visas over for BK, even as they start to enter over. You've got Border Patrol Travis on the job to try and peek forward. StaehrH has been spotted out and flagged on the list of no-fly zones, and as he starts to move in, that is just going to be him moving right past. There you go.
Another entry in towards Cave. StaehrH is having a lot of success in that area these past couple of rounds, and OneWin are still very pressured on this B bomb site, but you can see Sprout are diverting. They know that there's likely an extra player pulled on the rotation, and that means Olipop's about to receive a beating coming his direction. 2 hands. He might have to catch him, but it's... Oh, they just keep toying with them. They're pulling them back and forth between bomb sites. They now reel back over towards the B side, and now Travis is the one going to receive the beating. They're just picking and choosing who they want to bully.
Travis has Deco with him, though. This could be an absolute disaster. There's 15 seconds on the clock and a crossfire being set up. Travis is going to go down to the spam, but Deco still alive on the bomb site. If he can move through and actually deny the bomb plot, it's game over, but Sprout has somehow managed to go ahead and find an extra life right as they're on the verge of being eliminated from the round at the very least. Glowing, setting up a boost for his teammate, and as soon as it is set up, that's where Deco's hoping to get the early duel, but the early duel goes the other way. It is a quick cacophony of demise. OneWin, unable to really capitalize on the late round hit from Sprout. They are very much in continual disarray.
Yeah, and the good news was that they built up some solid money in this run on the CT side. So, you know, continual investments are going to be there. But this is pretty much the last one that they have in the back pocket. Sprout, if they continue to find the success on the entry frags over towards the B-bomb site and just get complete access and full domination on the rotates that they can pull off through mid, it's going to be a bad time here for OneWin. So they need to set that one straight. And you can see the way that they approach the start of this round. They have Deco there. They have Glowing to try and control what Sprout have options to do in the late round. Now moving back to reset, Glowing, he has to be able to stand tall in this position. Sure, the StaehrH entries are lovely to start off these rounds, but it's that access to lane and the either bomb site and bouncing between them that Sprout just were toying with them in the last round.
Molotov coming out, but they've already moved past. So there's 2 players, 3 players inside cave. This is such a messy round over the B bomb side. Zyphon, in the meanwhile, eliminates the mid player and puts a whole lot more pressure onto Travis and how he's going to be playing. Travis finds the first, gets it! Done twice over.
Don't know that they got spotted on numbers, though. Echo's AWP might not have been revealed, so one player on the flank might be anticipated, but Refrezh isn't even looking for it right now. And so Travis, a 3rd kill, comes in, and Slacks and Longs, they need to be able to deliver multi-kills between the 2 of them, and they're still concerned about lurks. They've brought it back to 2-on-2. Smokes are down, so the AWP will have a limited amount of impact. Echo, this kill could be a massive difference maker. A cross towards the bomb site being held, a tight angle by Longs, but the AWP will take up the mantle, and it's planted for them on this long position. No kit here for Flamey, so this round is done. It's the 2-on-4 for the young gun and the experienced AWPer of Sprout to pull off.
I have to say, Travis gets so much done there, and the fact that his team isn't able to follow up behind that is just an absolute tragedy. Slacks getting the first few freebies. Aleka is getting taken down so damn quick. That 2v4 is perfectly played between the 2 of them. Slacks, even that second aggressive peek inwards while his teammate is trapped at the back of the left pillar. That's just really nicely played. Sprout find themselves the crucial round that resets the CT economy as well. OneWin are going to be sent reeling. Deco has gone from being what? Something ridiculous like I have to say, 18-8, maybe even 18-7, to being unable to find a frag in the past two. And although that might not seem like much, when these past two are your last two gun rounds that you're going to have for a while, that matters.
I think his 2 kills that he's gotten on this CT side so far, I think he entered the half with like 15, 16 kills.
Like that.
Yeah, it was on the Deagles. So, AWP or not, feels like those opportunities are almost squandered considering the role they came into this half with. This is what I was talking about earlier, though. The T-side approach has to be feel out and try and identify weaknesses, and they have very easily found a weakness so far in the defense of OneWin, and that's been mid.
Gotta be careful on Typhon. They've already fallen by some pistols before. Oh, that's a good shot from Refrezh, just making sure that the P250 of Glowing can't find anything beyond what the grenade's already connected upon. The bomb planted initially just to check if there's anyone going to be pushing out through the smoke, and you can see how much more thorough Sprout is being about his anti-half buys. Can't blame them for it. You really need to start capitalizing on these, and it's good to see them being able to chain together a few. Longs is not moving. I want to move himself away at this point. Refrezh also getting dangerously low. There won't be enough time to go for this retake truly, but it is getting scary.
Smoke hit them, so it doesn't even make it out, and that just means Slacks gets easy pickings. If Flamey had crossed to A main, he might have got his hands on an AK, but LTV, again, a little spooky. These rounds are coming at a heavy cost here for Sprout, even in spite of the fact that that wasn't a full investment round for OneWin. Making sure that the Sprout economy doesn't run away from them. Jump start to the second half for the OneWin side has been met by a jumpier start by Sprout. Right now, we're streaky. Double mid setup here for OneWin. They really want to make sure that Siphon finds 0 impact from that spot. Oh, spam is great. Not really held onto there from Travis. Worried about the Molotov, so had to reposition. They cannot linger mid forever. That's the thing with holding mid on the CT side. You are very much on a timer.
It's very much like the old banana takes. You know you need to get the hell out of there eventually, and that's when retake protocols start to set in. How well do you handle those is an entirely separate question. Travis is lucky to keep himself alive over here. Stair and Refrezh, both with a Molotov and a grenade. He is going to be so damn low. Travis, close range though, and the Molotov will not be spreading to this corner. He could even actually end up aggressing behind them as they start to fade away if he's feeling particularly frisky, but he'll calm himself down. Oh my god, Stair's been spotted out, glowing. This is where you start to wonder how he's going to be taking the peek. They're not checking it! He pre-fires into the rifle as well, but they don't realize it because the lack of audio cues, or rather the muted audio cues that the A1 does still provide. Glowing's there with 3. Brilliant round from him already, even with the bomb down. He could be going for even more. Searches for the ace, but instead ends up unwittingly giving Stair some space, and with Lollipop already being down, Stair knows he can just hightail it over to the bomb side and get the immediate plant. No utility to back it up though.
1v1s. All about whether Stair reads it or not. No, Deco just takes the challenge. That's a risk certainly being taken, but maybe expecting that he would have been given more respect. Deco says no, and sure, he's had some struggles finding kills on the CT side so far, but he just finishes off what Glowing gets started. That's the power of the A1S. It's still 4 bullets at a lot of ranges, especially when you have to deal with players coming into your bomb site or into your territory. Yeah, the lack of tracers, the lack of audio cues, it's hard when there's comms cluttering, especially with how much we've certainly seen Sprout mid-rounding between the 2 bomb sites. I think it's very clear that there is a few chatter boxes or a few ideas being flung around about which site might be the weaker of the 2. They fell right into Glowing's lap. Made sure to give him a good old spanking.
Swing round coming into this one. Either side is going to be heavily punished for losing it. That again on 12 for 12, that is generally the case anyway.
I feel like a lot of the game is decided on who comes out ahead on this mid exchange. You know, Xiphon has been able to pick Glowing off a number of rounds prior. One round, I mean, we didn't see that come into influence, was the round in which Glowing gets 4, so might be the staple man. Put a bounty on him. Like they're actually committing to this B-side hit. Sprout surveying with that bomb, the AWP. They've got a lot of players set up in cave, but OneWin right now don't seem all too concerned about the possibility of them crunching in towards this B-bomb site. Smoke on short is going to make it more difficult for Flamey to provide any support. It's only really Travis that can stop them.
They do still have 3 players who are going to be ready to try and fight in and around the chaos that could be spawning, and that's a good timing with the flashbang. You'd think so. StaehrH somehow found the full wallbang, and LauNX is already inside the bomb side. Deco thought he was safe, but the flashbang covers out his vision, covers out his movement. LauNX is covering out Flamey's eyes with blood. Man, oh man. That's some nice shots.
I mean, this round is... you must be so frustrated playing against that if you're OneWin. They are spamming the wood wall into cubby a number of times. From outside of lane, they do it. From inside of cave, they do it. And they just were unrelenting. They just kept on spamming for it. They throw these 2 smokes on short and long. And they anticipate that somebody's either going to insert themselves into that corner or play close to ramp, and they spam for both of those possibilities. That is so annoying to think about if you're OneWin. The only real sanctuary that you would have had is probably sitting behind default on site, but not utilizing the fact that you have like this smoke advantage on ramp. There were very few safe havens. Travis needed to get at least a couple of kills there if they wanted to be able to make that round work, but they wait out the full duration of those smokes to ensure they deal with the first site man. That's a risky call, but Sprout, I have to admire the fact that they were basically mine-sweeping with their bullets through the wood wall.
LauNX is almost caught up, but if that's that's anything other than an AWP, he's dead. Slacks is just caught completely unaware instead. Oh man, that's just the freest first duel you can't expect to get, but now it's taken away and you don't have another gun to save for it. I say that right as Deco's getting...
He didn't grab it.
Doesn't realize it either. Flamey, in the meanwhile, what a shot from him to be traded out immediately after. Now Deco's got the AWP to try and work off. StaehrH is gone as a result of it. Bombs rotated back immediately. LauNX wants nothing to do with it. The A-bomb site is completely empty, but guess what? The path to it is not. Lollipop is going to be looking to cut off LauNX, and he might be able to do so successfully. Lollipop catches him out. Heard the footsteps from a mile away. And that's about as far away as Xiphon is from this bomb.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You see just the urgency he has coming back into that area. But they understood that they were kind of boxed in, and that AWP that Deco recovered ended up having a massive sphere of influence as well. Shots were great here from OneWin, and just when Sprout could have sort of set themselves up for easier success in future rounds, now they find themselves in a bit of a rut. Losing to pistols like that is never fun, and OneWin's money is now looking very healthy as a result of recovering weapons for free. Said that we weren't shy of close games for either of these teams entering this, and it doesn't feel like we have let up off that narrative the whole time through. About as tight as can be, but as soon as there is a chance, sometimes those chances have been squandered, sometimes they have been forcefully removed.
Very often a bit of both. One in 10 you were left, and StaehrH, the timing. He is able to find Glowing. Immediately eliminated, and he's been such an incredibly important player. Now look at how they've changed things up though. Glowing was generally the mid player. Now instead they've left Deco to be solo handling the A bomb site. Sprout maybe expected to go back to Ye Old Faithful. The A site was where they ended up working some of their magic through mid. And if Deco is in position, this could be the perfect call.
Steady she goes. Sprout culminating in towards this A main fight. And one flash in, that should be enough to force Deco back, but he's still lingering quite close to the action. Very tradable if they're able to space themselves correctly, but Deco gets his one and immediately spots away, getting himself tucked into Donut and behind the smoke that they themselves have thrown. Sprout have not been able to get the entry that they were hoping for, nor can they maintain the pacing. StaehrH lurk will find success in finding this B-side player, so now access and the bomb is making its way over. It's all about whether StaehrH can stay alive and maintain that spot for Sprout.
There was a gap in the smoke and Flame. He'd already moved through it. The only question is, does StaehrH realize it? There's another player around the corner as well. The only one with utility is Slacks, and he's got a full belt. As soon as the flashbang goes out, that's when Flamey takes a peek. The flash is too late. He's full blind, but it won't matter. Second flash from himself to try and set up for Lollipop to take the peek. What a beautiful set of utility being flung out. Just cascades down upon the remainder of the Sprout side. None of them able to get anything, and the timings are perfect.
Yeah, it's really teed up one win as well. They're staring down the idea of a 15th round. And Sprout, I think, have come to that realization themselves. I mean, in previous rounds, we've commended how quickly they've been able to bounce between bomb sites. But the one key difference is the fact that they're having to rotate the long way round from the B site to A. They're having to go through T spawn because they don't have mid control like they have in many of their previous successes. And that just increases the timer. It just allows extra players to be in positions for the potential attack. What a difference maker it's been, the double mid setups that one win have been going for, the fact that Glowing's been able to find more success with his early utility, and actually just sometimes not even taking the fight. You know, the vulnerability has been when Zyphon has picked him off. Now Glowing is playing more passive angles and being a much more difficult player to hunt down. The round where it all changes. See how all the resources for Glowing are gone, and sits very passively in towards the red room. I think if you're a Sprout and you're trying to isolate the issue, you have to realize that this mid area has to have some kind of presence applied to it. Zyphon's tried his best so far, but he's out of utility and might just have to try and take a dry fight.
And you just need some dry headshots, that's for sure. StaehrH trying to start off with a quick double! That could be it. Sprout not ready to give up game point yet, but neither is Deco. He wants to continue fighting back out over. Repeaks back in, but a missed shot is going to be his death. Demise waiting around the corner, delivered by Slacks, and it's a bomb to be planted down as well. Lollipop, only player with a gun, and he is desperate to save it. There's no chance for him in this 1-on-4, but hell, there seems to be no chance for him to save either. Donut is where he's threaded the needle back over to. Sprout's collapse headed by StaehrH's double. What a way to do it.
Yeah, and he was certainly finding one kill on entries in previous rounds. His double kills come completely out of left field. Lollipop will at least secure some path to save this rifle. I don't think Sprout can very feasibly hunt him down in time. If they do, they have to worry about their own economy. Things are looking up. That came at the perfect moment. Yeah, one kill, sure. That's where that discussion we're having about the mid control really starts to have its influence. But you kill two on pretty much every map. It's pretty universal. You get a double entry, you're probably hitting that site.
And that destroys the CT side economy as well. This is going to be the last round they have a chance. In one win, they're so close to the finish line, but it's all about getting a finger across it.
Well, seems like Flamey wanted to be selfless, but Travis is more selfless. He threw the M4 right back at him.
All about responsibility, man, and right now I would not want to take too much of it either. I say that by going, oh, he is leading the charge. He's getting ready He hears them all as well nearby, takes the peek out, but he gets absolutely nothing. Staehr again on the spray transfer, attempted to try and make it a double, but right now he is so happy with the kill they've just found.
Oh, and another as well. The AWP for Deco finds nothing. It all comes to a grinding halt, and maybe a moment's silence here for OneWin as they start to realize they've dug themselves a rut. They wanted to go for a 16-14, but might end up on the receiving end of that scoreline. Lollipop had to be able to deliver, but kills have been found either side. flamie wins his solo fight over on the B side. Smoke extinguishing the flames. He wants to try and keep the pressure applied, but Zyphon is there, holding with the AWP, but flamie taps him out of the equation. Refrezh, it's now all about the in-game leader to pull this over the line here for Sprout. It's not looking good for the next round, but they have to think about the round in front. Refrezh still considering other options.
Refrezh is the one with the utility. He's the one with sightlines. He's the one with everything to work off of. All flamie can do is try and be wily about it. Taps it out, and Refrezh will be able to just take the quick peek. He knows flamie's not looking his way, and Sprout, they are knocking on the door of victory. OneWin. How are they possibly going to take this to overtime? It has to be off a miracle.
I mean, just to think we were in this 4-on-2, and it looked like Sprout were just gonna sort of run away with it, but 2 kills come in quick, and you start to understand the shakiness. Maybe OneWin's money is not great, but the fact that they convert that round into a win themselves. This game may have just been defined by the penultimate round. Look at the buys that they're coming into this one with.
Like, they've done more with less before. Let's not forget that. Deco leading the charge in that particular round, but Sprout's got a lot more behind them as well now. They've also going to be so laser focused in preventing something like that from happening again.
And just an overtime guarantee. They know that this isn't the end of the road so far.
I want to boost up behind the smoke as well to try and work off of it. Staehr, he's missed the timing, but he might still get the man. flamie taking the peek forward. He's been spotted. Staehr is revealing his position, and maybe even the boost with it if they've been good about their audio cues. Close range grenade, closer range Molotov. That'll be forcing back this crossfire that they are attempting to set up. This 4-man B setup might be a collision course that Sprout are not ready for.
Slax is trying to line up the flash to allow them to peek through that door.
Scary prospect. 3 players on the other side. 2 of them should be playing completely anti-flash, and indeed they are. flamie not
Just
looking to
dry
reveal himself.
facing it.
Oh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be rough. Flashbang from Deco also being lined up. He's going to be looking to pop them through. Refrezh just gets it done. Slack's also covering them off, and they should know there's a player close by as well. Deco has to come through with a big Deagle glowing. Good for the first. He even goes ahead and gets 2 right behind it. Deco's being set up at Slacks to keep an eye out just in case. Travis, the only player left on the B-bomb site, and where OneWin has been so damn collected throughout, they fall into the trap of Slacks. Just covers him up for his easiest shots ever. Oh, misses out on one that could be the difference maker, though. Travis, Eagle at the ready. Can he put it all together? Can he give Lollipop enough time to rotate over? Maybe even make it a one-on-one for him. It seems like both of those have got to be a requirement. A flashbang in the turned away, but LauNX is ready regardless. Surely this is it, LauNX, to put them to bed. 16-14. Sprout may make it close, but they still make it through, and that's what matters. 2-0 over OneWin. I have to say, Ancient, I did not have faith in them towards the end of things.
Dude, I mean, they just can't keep getting away with it. I'm telling you, they have so many games where it's all 30 rounds or overtimes, and they win the majority of them. You know, they have a lot of 16-14s, 16-13s, 19-16s. It's ridiculous to think how many times they end up